is there anything that you are allowed to share coming up with the Mommy's Club? Something sweet or something spicy that you can share that people can, just a little bit of the tea on the show.
Okay, so I don't think we can share too much, but what
Okay.
we have to tell you, because a lot of people have been asking us.
Hi everyone and welcome back to Who's Your Amma. Today we have two very special guests, and if you live in South Africa and you've been on TikTok or if you watch anything on TV, you know exactly who these two lovely ladies are. Welcome to the podcast, Losh and Resh Naidoo. Thank you so much for joining us. For those of you who don't know,
Thank you so much for having us. We're so excited to be here.
I'm so excited that you guys are here. For those of you who don't know, they are the new stars and two of my favorites on the Mommy's Club, Sugar and Spice. And I actually, when I started watching the show, I went on Instagram and I followed you both. And I was so excited to see that you guys already followed me. And I was so excited. I'm like, I had a fangirl moment.
You're
Thank
famous,
you.
girl.
I doubt it, but thank you. So just to break the ice before I start, I always ask my guests what is their rose and thorn for the week. So I'll go first and then you guys can think about yours. So my rose is, last week my granny was here with us and she stayed with us for about a month because it was my daughter's first birthday, and she cooked every day. And yesterday when I was looking for something to cook for supper, I found a container of chicken curry frozen in the freezer, and I was so excited because it was like the last food of hers that we had here. So that was my highlight of the week. I was so excited to eat that. And you know, everyone knows like granny's food or mother's food is the best.
Absolutely. I can't beat it. Absolutely.
I really enjoyed that. And then I would say my thorn of the week is yesterday I went to the optometrist, and I actually had laser eye surgery 2 years ago. And recently my left eye has been getting very dry and sore. So basically the lady told me that I need to start using eye drops like 4 times a day for the next 3 months. So that is kind of irritating because I know I'm going to forget many days. And also I've been using it yesterday and it doesn't taste nice. I don't know why I can taste it, and it's just, it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant.
Oh, sorry.
It's really not
pleasant. It could
pleasant.
be worse. They could have told you that you needed to redo it. So
Exactly.
take the eye drops. Yes.
I'll take the eye drops. She said it was just that my cornea was dry or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, you guys can start. I don't know who wants to start.
I think my rose for this week was definitely, so every Thursday we have a watch party.
Okay.
And Thursday is also a day that we fast. So when we have this watch party, it's the best thing because the entire family gets together. But I also get not to cook a vegetarian meal, which is my worst to do. It's the best thing ever. So we now cook once in 4 because we alternate houses of where we have the watch party. It's my mom, my younger sister, Losh's house, my house.
Okay. So you guys are 3 girls.
We are 3 girls. Yes.
Oh, wow. My granny had 5 daughters. So
okay.
Also lots of girls in our family.
We're a girl family. And then we have one thorn.
Who doesn't like to speak, from what we saw in the last episode.
Absolutely, yes. Exactly. He's got enough girls to do the talking for him.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I think my thorn for this week was my girls were doing a lot of exams and writing tests. So that's always a hectic time in our house with running around for extra lessons and that. So this week we are all done. So I'm glad with that.
That's good.
And for me, I think I'm going to start with my thorn. I lost my dad-in-law 2 weeks ago.
So sorry about that.
Thank you so much. He lived a beautiful life and he had a lovely legacy. So we're celebrating his life, but there's such a lot of rituals that we have to do. And I've been crazy busy. But the rose is that nothing beats the way Indian family comes together in times of need. We have all the aunties there cooking the curries, helping us out, and I've been so grateful for their support.
I'm so sorry to hear that. I can also relate to what you're saying. I think it was 2 months ago, my husband lost his grandfather. So I completely relate to what you're saying. And
Yes,
yeah,
sorry
thank you
about
so much for making time for me. I know things are hectic, especially when there's a death in the family, but I really appreciate both of you taking time out of your very busy schedule to make time for this podcast. I really
that. We were
appreciate it.
excited to meet. So happy to be here.
I'm so glad you guys are here. Thank you so much. Get ready for an unforgettable week at Christian Family Church, Johannesburg. Join us for an inspiring conference featuring dynamic speakers like John Bevere and our very own senior pastors, Apostle Theo and Dr. Bev Walmerans. From powerful messages to life-changing sessions, this is your chance to connect, grow, and be transformed. It's all happening from the 22nd to the 27th of September, so mark your calendars and invite your friends. Don't miss out on the experience of a lifetime. See you there. Okay, so let's get into it. Both of you are occupational therapists. Please explain how did that happen and how did both of you choose that career path and also why you chose that career path?
Okay, well, we were both, when we were looking at what to do, occupational therapy was the top of both of our lists. I think the thing that drew us to it the most was the fact that occupational therapists help people reach their full potential despite their injuries, impairment, disability, and that for us was amazing. So when we were applying, they only took in 20 people each time for 20 students a year for occupational therapy. So my dad said, well, why don't one of you apply for physio? And we're like, you do it. So we said, let's take our chances. And we both got in. In fact, our lecturer said, and they always say that we gave the exact same answers and there was no way they could choose. We also had the exact same symbols in matric. So we've never been more than 2 marks apart from each other academically as well. So I think the similarities meant that they were taking the same person twice.
Yeah.
And that's how we ended up doing occupation. So I think it's the first time ever they took 2 students from the same family.
Wow.
But it was our luck.
Wow. You know, God works in his own ways. Eh? You never know.
Absolutely.
You never know.
Absolutely.
So, Losh, you are a twin and you have triplets. So I want to know, what was your reaction when you found out that you were having multiples? And do you mind sharing a little bit of your pregnancy journey?
Well, normal is so different in so many different people's lives. And for us, multiples is quite normal. But having said that, my pregnancy journey was a really difficult one. I had a few miscarriages and my girls were fertility. So when we did the fertility, I was desperate to have twins because I thought it would be once off. I had my 2 kids, that's it and done. So we went for the first scan and they said twins and we were ecstatic. Everything was perfect. The next scan we went and they said it was triplets. And I was actually a bit nervous and apprehensive. And I told Naveen, I don't know if I could do this. Yeah. Naveen is my husband. And we went then for the third scan and they said quads. Yeah. And by then I was like overwhelmed, feeling guilty for feeling overwhelmed because I should have been grateful.
Yes.
And the fourth one, I miscarried very early on. So when it was then triplets and confirmed, okay, definitely 3 healthy babies and it's triplets, I was like, okay, we're doing 3. It's not 4. We can do this. And I think that was the journey. It was a difficult journey. My kids were born prem. There were a lot of obstacles, but we are here. We can talk about the tale now.
Yeah. And what was it like coming home from hospital and that whole time after giving birth with 3 babies? I know with 1 baby, it's difficult because it's your first time, you're adjusting to new things, and you came home with 3 babies at the same time. How was that for you?
So when you get discharged, so my girls were born at 28 weeks. They were 780, 860, 920 grams.
Wow.
So to put into perspective, they were literally smaller than my palm when I put my palm next to them. And I worked in a state hospital at the time. So when I delivered, I went back to work for 2 weeks because they were going to be in ICU for 3 months. And it wasn't worth me wasting my maternity leave. At the time, I couldn't afford to take unpaid leave. So I went back to work for 3 months until the first 2 were discharged. And then I came home with the 2 of them. One stayed on another 3 weeks. And then Daika was discharged 3 weeks later. So eventually when they came home, it was 3 months after I had delivered.
Okay.
So it was an adjustment period. It was crazy. I did move in with my mom for the first year and a half. And we went to my mom-in-law every weekend so that we could give both sides a little bit of a break, but it was hectic times. And Resh had a baby at the same time. So Shay is the same age as a triplet. So it was great, four of them, and a toddler. With me, I was three. So
Wow.
it was crazy in our household.
Wow. Resh, do you want to explain some of your pregnancy journey? You have an older daughter, so you had two pregnancies. And how was that knowing that you're not carrying multiples? Or how was that journey for you with pregnancy?
So Mia was the first baby in our family, and she was just the apple of everyone's eyes. I think Losh said in one of her diaries on Mommy Club that she's her first love. She's everybody's first love. She was an easy baby. She was so well shared amongst my younger sister, Losh, my mom,
Aw.
other granny. So we were just so lucky. We thought, that, you know what, having a baby is so easy. You have so much support. And then 3 years later, we had four, plus Mia, it was five, and they were just not enough hands. So,
Wow.
funny story, she was also a twin. Yeah.
Oh,
When
wow.
I found out I was expecting, and I went to the gynae for the first time, it was actually twins, but they call it a disappearing twin. So, like Losh's fourth one, it disappeared quite early on. I think God gave us what we could handle. Like, Tashay was an active boy. We are used to girls. So, Losh has the triplets. There's Mia. My younger sister's got two girls, and Tashay is the only boy.
Oh, wow.
But I think we could manage one. He's the loveliest, don't get me wrong. He is the easiest of the lot. Yeah, so my pregnancy was easy. And I always sum up my journey by saying that, you know, my journey was a little bit easier, so I can help Losh raise her girls. We co-mother our 5 kids. So it's always been like that.
Wow.
It's a communal
That's amazing.
It's a communal effort, yes.
Yeah, that's amazing. Like I told you guys.
I'm just telling Mia now, just Shreya finishes at 11 at school. So I said, please tell Akka to fetch you. So Mia needs to go and do pick up now. That's how we roll.
Yeah, it's really important to have a community around you. Like I said, my parents and my in-laws actually live really close by. So I understand completely what you mean about one weekend it was with the in-laws, and then during the week it was with your parents and then the sisters. So it's really helpful to have a community around you. It's very, very helpful. And by listening to you guys, I can see that it doesn't get easier as the kids go older. You need that community even more when they get older.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Something for me to think about.
Absolutely.
Losh, you mentioned in one of the episodes that I think it's your youngest that's doing homeschooling. That is something that I would like to explore. My child's only one, but at some point, that is something that I would like to explore. Can you explain why she chose that route and how you go about doing it in South Africa? And what does her homeschool setup look like? Like, does she have a tutor? Do you teach her? How does that work?
Okay, so you know what? I think the beauty of parenting is that you realize very early on that even if your kids are triplets, they are individuals and each one has different strengths and weaknesses and things that work for them. And luckily, I am an occupational therapist, so I could see mainstream wasn't really for Daika. She wasn't happiest in that situation. And luckily for us, COVID has enabled us to have a whole lot of online options. So online has been tried, it's been tested, and there's quite a large variety in South Africa right now. So whereas I would say pre-COVID, you wouldn't really have a wide choice, or maybe it perhaps won't be the best education. Now, post-COVID, a lot of people have opted to stay online, and it's working for them and allows them to do other things that are interesting to them, whether they're playing sport. Daika loves writing, and she's a published author, and that's something she spends a lot of time on.
Wow.
So it definitely is a difficult decision because it's going against the norm and it's something unknown. And I really struggled with separating my girls just because they are triplets and the same. So it wasn't a decision that I took easily. But having taken it now, this is her first year of doing it, and she's in grade 11. She was in mainstream until last year in grade 10. I think it's the best decision for her. She is much happier. She's thriving. We chose Teneo as an online school, and Teneo is full lessons. So the lessons are live and there's recorded version. So if you miss something, you can go back and watch the recorded version. So she is tutored completely on her own. There's homework due, the exams are done online, and that's how the Teneo platform works.
Wow. So I'm assuming she's very self-disciplined.
You have to be self-disciplined.
Yeah, to tutor yourself.
Yeah, yeah. And I think one of the things I'm most proud of in Losh as a mom is that she saw that early enough. And rather than let Daika be unhappy, we found a solution for her.
Yeah, I think it is very important for parents to actually see and understand where their kids are coming from. And I'm also very proud of you because it's not something, like you said, it's not the norm. It's not something that
Yes.
everyone does. So for you also to take that step back and say, this is what's best for my child, it's really commendable. So well done. I'm also getting a lot of tips here as I listen to
Yes,
both of
yes.
you. Resh, the Chloe scene, I was actually watching that episode with my granny and I
Yeah.
started crying so much. It was such a beautiful scene. And I just want to know, why was it important for you to showcase someone, what did you call it? Differently abled, I think that's what
Yes.
you said. Why was it
Yes.
important for you to showcase someone like that on the show?
So you know what? That was one of the things I was most well, it was most important for me to showcase. It's the work I do, it's the work that Losh do. We are about making sure that our disabled community fits into mainstream, right? We live it. We live the life as you if you see in my social media, you see the
Yes,
parties Chloe comes
with
to.
Chloe.
I think it's so important for people to understand that we can be from all walks of life, but we can coexist together and we can learn from each other. Chloe is such a shining example of what you can do and ability, and I love that. I love people seeing how disabled people are. Absolutely.
I can't believe she
And
can
you know what? I
fully
think,
text with her
sorry,
nose.
she can text with her nose. And you know what? She's writing exams at school with her nose. And
Wow.
I always say to Losh,
I
I
have
come from a school
goosebumps.
environment as an OT, and as OTs, we don't see disability, we see ability. And this is what we wish mainstream society could see.
Ah, that's so beautiful. I thought I couldn't like you guys more, and now here I am like, ah. There's actually my producer's wife is filming the next episode with me, and she said that she also started watching the show, and she didn't know that I was filming with you guys, and she was saying,
Yes.
I really like the twins. They're quite nice. I'm like, I'm filming with them next. So
Oh,
you
wow.
have many fans in this room right now.
Hi, guys.
Okay, so how did the Mummies Club Sugar and Spice start, and how did you guys get casted? What was that journey like?
So we actually were approached very early on. I think it was in June when the concept just came about, and they had found us on social media, and they asked Resh and I both if we'd be keen on joining a reality show, to which we spoke for like a hot minute, and we're like, we absolutely not. Yeah, no, we were so excited that they considered us, but we were like,
Yes.
no, thank you, thanks, but no. Yes. And then it came back in December where they contacted us again and said, please reconsider. And it's, you've got complete control of what you say. We can't put words in your mouth because we're always nervous about how people are portrayed on a reality.
Yes, and how they
And we
edited
really
also.
are girls. Like, what?
I
As
can
say,
see
we come
that.
from a strong family of girls, and we empower girls and we lift everybody else, and there's enough room for everybody to shine. So we were very careful to say, listen, if you want drama, it's not going to be us.
Yes.
Because it was a difficult. It's difficult because when you watch reality shows, you see the drama, you see the
Yes.
spice, right? Yeah. And I think for us, when they explained that it's going to be the first time in South Africa that they're showcasing Indian South
woman.
African women, how much we do, it was just too good an opportunity. It
Yeah.
was the Indianness of the show that actually sold us in the end.
Yes.
We thought it was we were good representation to
I agree.
represent the modern Indian woman.
Yes. And I honestly feel like you guys are really good examples of what it means to be a wife and a mother. Just seeing you guys carry out different tasks in the show. Obviously, we don't see everything, but from what we do see, it's a really good example of also how you raise your children, the values you guys both have, the careers that you have. So it's really admirable. And thank you guys for saying yes to the show, because I think that we really need those type of positive influences in the media, especially because there's not many that are South African Indians.
Yeah, and I think the Indians that are portrayed are very stereotypical. It's actually not how we talk or we are. So we wanted to change that narrative.
Yes, I love it. I love it so much. So how was the adjustment like from living fairly private lives to now being household names? What was that like? How are your children handling it? How are the husbands handling it? What's that situation like?
It is crazy. Okay, to be honest, Losh and I are used to people staring because they always are so amazed that
Twins.
we look so alike.
Yeah.
So we go to the mall from the time we're young. People are like, "Are you all twins? Are you all twins?" So, and my girls had it growing up because they used to dress alike for a long time, and wherever they go, in fact, when they were like little, and people would just look at them and they would say, "Yes, we are triplets." I'm the oldest, I'm the youngest, I'm the middle. They had ready-made answers. Before people even asked them a question, they never had
Yes.
to change danger because they were used to people speaking to them. So there was a little element of that. But still, having said that, it's been unreal. The recognition happened quicker than we thought it would.
Wow.
And wherever we go now, people want to take photos and they're
Wow.
talking about the show and giving feedback. It's been phenomenal. And it's been, 98% love, and
That's
that's
amazing.
what I was actually surprised. And we've had briefings to say you're going to take the good with the bad. And with us, we've been only getting such a lot of support. Devon wants to own us. Yeah. And funny enough, I came to Johannesburg for the rugby last weekend and so many people recognized me and
Wow.
were saying to me, this is hysterical, like really.
That's
It's
amazing.
been good. Yeah.
That's amazing. I can't imagine that anyone would give you guys hate. Like, what would be the reason?
Listen, you know what? I think that an important thing to realize is that we're showing a reality show in South Africa. It's the first time Indian culture has been showcased. So you are getting different communities watching the show. So we've noticed that Indian people very much are a little bit more, we're not here for the spice. And the other people that are used to reality is like, we're not here for anybody being boring. We want some spice. So it's different communities wanting
Yes.
different things from you, which is a bit difficult. And you know what was difficult for me? I think as Indian community, we pride ourselves on education, right? And education usually leads to success. So the producers wanted us to use the word affluent. And affluent came as such a bad word in the Indian community. A trigger word. I know I did an
Wow.
article for the Post newspaper and we were said it's a show showcasing affluent Indian moms. And for me, affluent means successful, hardworking, because that's how you get there, right?
Yes.
And a lot of people came for us like, you're showing off. Why is it not the average person on the street? Why do we have to talk affluent? Why can't it be a poor mom? So you got to understand that we want to show inspirational. We want to show that we work hard, and that's what we're
Yes.
showcasing through our OT, through our makeup scene, through our fashion designing, whatever it is we do. We work as women, and we've got successful husbands, but we are still independent women, and that's what we want to show the Indian girls. Like, come on, you
Yes.
can do everything. You can.
It's
do it
always
all.
good to have something to strive to. Like, people want to be motivated. So I don't know why. Yeah. I get what you're saying though, but I agree with what you guys are saying completely.
Yeah.
It's no one would want to see someone, or let me say for me personally, I would always want to see someone who I can draw inspiration from, not
Yes.
someone who doesn't inspire me to be the best version of myself. So I think you guys are doing a great job.
And the producers were quite, they said to us, listen, our news in South Africa is telling the stories of what is going out there, right? We live in a society where there is poverty, there is
Yes.
crime, there is violence. People want to watch TV to escape.
Yes.
That's not what you want to watch because we see that in our everyday.
Exactly. Exactly.
So-
And like you said in the beginning, you don't always see affluent Indians correctly
Yes.
represented in the media.
Exactly. And also just to say, every single one of us, all we want is for our kids to be successful.
Yes.
So when
As
we're
a community-
successful, we must be careful not to dim that light. To say, okay, now you're successful, now keep quiet. Don't show that you're successful because what are we teaching them? If you've got that light, let it shine. Absolutely.
So, Resh, you bought your daughter a Porsche for her 18th birthday. How do you keep your kids humble and grateful in this lifestyle that you've been able to bless them with? You can both answer.
I think for me, it's so important to understand that materialistic things have nothing to do with the values and the culture that we brought our kids up with. It's completely different, My kids are so down to earth. They are so humble. They're so grateful. And those are the lessons I've instilled with them. Yes, I did buy a Porsche. I bought her a Porsche because I was celebrating the successes of Previn and I. You know, we are so grateful. I don't think there's a mom or dad out there that if they had the opportunity to give their kids the best that you can, they wouldn't. You know, so yes, there's a lot of people we've lived the judgment, right? But for me, it's never indicative. In fact, people see my children and they say, "Oh my word, they're so down to earth," and I always get taken aback because why would you expect them not to be? You know, we're raising kids not to be defined by what they have. We're raising them to be defined by who they are. So the one thing actually doesn't have to do much with the other.
And I think that Resh and I, by virtue of where we work, because we both do work in the state sector. I'm in Amlazi, she's in Phoenix. So our kids have come to work for our Christmas parties, for our parties for the kids, concerts, all of that. So they've been exposed to a lot of walks of life that maybe people may not realize just because of the work we do.
And we do a lot of charity. So we're always going into and we do it ourselves, you know.
Yeah.
Initially, we used to do it with organizations, and we've learned that it's easier just to do what we can do just ourselves. But we make sure that the children are doing it with their hands. It's not about just giving a donation.
Giving milk at the temple, giving food at a shelter. You know, the kids have gotten involved and they see the other parts of life as well.
And I always say, you know, I said at Mia's 18th birthday, I said, Mia, this is the best we can afford to give you. We want you to strive, work hard, and buy yourself better.
Wow.
You know, it is this bottom level of where I expect my daughter to be.
Wow.
And I hope one day it's going to come back. She's going to buy us a land.
That's such a good outlook to have, and I really like how you said that. And in the beginning when you were speaking, it reminded me of a scripture in the Bible, and I'm going to paraphrase it now, but it basically says that if you, being a good parent, know how to give good gifts, how much more does your Father in heaven give you good gifts? I really fumbled that, but I will put it on the screen. But yeah, it's a really beautiful thing that you are able to give your children such a good life. But I like what you said, where you're using this as a foundation for them to do better. I really, really love how you said that.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you are allowed to share coming up with the Mommy's Club? Something sweet or something spicy that you can share that people can, just a little bit of the tea on the show?
Okay, so I don't think we can share too much, but what we have to tell you, because a lot of people have been asking us, no, the show is 100% not scripted. And no character has been placed there to cause drama. Everyone is who they are. There's no fake characters. There's no planted characters. In all honesty, we also clarified with production, is everybody here legit? And everybody was legit.
No, there was a time when we asked production, but honestly, did you tell her to say that? You know, and production was like, no, because production had their mouths open at some time.
Oh, wow. Because I also watched a few of the scenes.
In fact, one of the main things that drew us to being on the show is that they said they can't fabricate drama. They can't misrepresent who you are. So everything that you're saying is your own words and it's coming across exactly like how you say it.
The only thing that they kind of organize is the events.
The events.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if there's a picnic scene where last one was Kim and Christina, they kind of, know there's a picnic scene to get the cameras there.
To get the cameras and the mics and yes.
But as minute you mic, what you say is what you say.
Oh, wow.
There's nothing.
And the way a reality show works is even though we've known a few of these women from socials and that, none of us have been friends before in a social setting. So it's all of us getting to know each other for the first time and being put in the same room together and events together. And that's how we also, as the show evolves, get to know people better, see people's true colors better. And you see the evolution of friendships and all of that going through as the show goes on.
And I think what people can look forward to is character development. Because in the beginning, I would say right until now, we're at episode 5, as Indian women, we were scared to speak up. We were scared to upset another woman or say how we felt if something went wrong. And one of the production members said to us, listen, you guys are making it seem as Indian women don't have a voice. So it's fine to share your opinion in a respectful way.
So I think from the next episode, people are a little bit more vocal. You see a little bit more character.
Okay.
So I think you're going to get a bit more from all around characters.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that. Do you guys know how many episodes there are in this season?
So there's 11 episodes, and then we shoot 2 reunion episodes. So that'll be 12 and 13.
Ooh, 2 reunion episodes. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I can't wait to watch that. Okay, I'm going to do a quick rapid fire with you both, and you can just answer whatever comes to your mind. What is your favorite thing to do at family gatherings?
Talk. I was going to say talk. And eat.
Talk and eat. That was so cute. That was so cute. What is each other's cooking specialty?
Losh is good at everything. She cooks and bakes fantastically.
Aww.
So, like, everything.
Aww.
Resh's, I would say crayfish sourdough would be her speciality. I'm
Come
also
to
very
Durban.
good at ordering. Her husband does it on the baking pan. So she's an expert order. Yes. Yeah, that's a skill. Yeah. She does also have the luxury of not having to cook every day. Yes.
Okay, that's good.
Like me, we married well. Poor me, who has to cook every single day of my life. I didn't marry a super specialist.
I actually also cook every day, and I enjoy it. I enjoy it. This man is looking at me. He wants prawns chutney today.
Oh, yummy. I enjoy cooking every day, but when you have to do it for your family every single day like this, it is a chore.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. And then you ask them, what do you want to eat? And they say anything. What is anything?
Anything.
What is anything?
When you prepare and somebody doesn't want that. But my girls have learned to cook, and they're very good cooks as well. My daughter Dashria actually owns a cake business, Whipped by Dash.
Oh, wow.
Which is doing phenomenally well. She actually
That's amazing.
has featured in magazines and all of that.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I love how business-minded your kids are. I think it's very admirable that at such a young age, they know the value of working and earning their own money. And I think you guys have raised them amazingly. You're doing a good job.
Thank you.
Okay. Best memory while filming.
I think for me, it was just the fact that Losh was with me. Like, I think our first episode, Mia and Tisha drove to Losh's house, and the 5 kids filmed together. Yeah, I think that was the best moment. Is that first filming scene with all 5 girls,
with all the kids together.
You get so many members of the same family to be on screen together.
Yes.
So that was the best memory. And the kids absolutely loved it. They were comfortable in front of the camera.
Wow.
They loved the drama of it all. It was so funny. So once you mic for the day, right? And Danea and Mia was busy gossiping about a boy, and the sound guy came and said, I don't think I should be listening to this, and switched their mic off.
Wow.
So they were terrified. Are they going to put that on screen? It was so cute.
Shame. That's sweet. Okay, the next 3 questions are about the cast, but excluding both of you. Which mommy has the best closet?
I think Kim rocked it as a pregnant mama. I hope that everybody just takes her style inspo. Absolutely. Because even in diary, she looked amazing.
The blue lehenga that she wore recently was beautiful.
How beautiful. She was 9 months. That blue lehenga, she was shot on the day she was due to have the baby. Yes. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
She looked amazing. Yeah. So even in her little dresses and all of that.
Yes.
She was
Yes. And I just want to say, the older mums, both of you and Lenore, your bodies are banging. Let me just say that. Okay. I can see that you guys put in the work at the gym.
Leno's style is also beautiful. Yes. Leno also has a beautiful style.
Yes.
And her body is amazing.
Yes, all 3 of you. 100% agree.
Hard work. Our kids
I'm
are
lazy.
No, but also our kids are older, so we can make gym time and all of that. Yeah. You'll get there. We'll all get there.
I'm just going to snip that part and play it to myself every time I feel bad when I'm going to the gym. From all the mummies, who is the life of the party, excluding you two?
I would say Kim is quite fun. Yes, Kim is fun. I'm usually the loudest, so it's very hard to exclude me. Yeah, I would say Resh. If I had a choice, it would still be Resh, even though she's excluded from that. Yeah. I think they always use me to get everybody together because I am quite loud and social. Yeah. Everybody else normally feeds off that energy. Yes. Yeah.
Neon Pineapple is a creative influencer marketing agency who connects you with the perfect social media influencers. From the sparkling nano stars to the A-list celebs, think of us as your matchmakers for the digital age. So if you're feeling overwhelmed and don't know where to start with influencers, no worries. We offer a 360-degree approach, crafting custom campaigns that tell your story and reach your target audience. We even provide data analysis to see what's working and what's not. Because let's face it, sometimes your content needs a little extra juice. Bonus, we don't just do digital. Need some traditional PR muscle? Neon Pineapple has that covered too, from press releases to event management. Stop feeling like a social media wallflower. Head over to www.neonpineapple to learn more and follow at Neon Pineapple Agency on Instagram, Facebook and LinkedIn. So for my, I'm laughing now because for my baby shower, we had it with the guys also. And at some point, everyone was just doing their own things. And I was standing there highly pregnant, shouting at everybody together. And my mother and my husband were saying, stop screaming, you're going to stress the baby. But no one was listening. So I had to be loud.
That's what I feel is my responsibility.
Exactly.
To make sure everybody's together. I hear you.
Okay, last one. Who gives the best advice?
Abigail.
Wow.
Abigail has the ability to remain neutral and unbiased, and she's very thoughtful in what she says, but she doesn't expect you to change what you say. You know, she's always about change the way you deliver it. I love what she said at the Pencil Club when she spoke to Christina. That's the advice she gives. Yeah. Don't change your opinion. Maybe change the way in which you deliver it.
Yes, I also agree with you guys. She does sound like she gives really good advice. Yes. Okay, so to wrap this whole thing up, is there any piece of advice that you guys would give to newer moms who are stuck in the cycle of washing bottles or cluster feeding or that 3-hour schedule that we're on and not getting enough sleep? What type of advice would you guys give to moms like that?
Well, let me just tell you, I had triplets, right? Obviously. And you didn't get a more type A mom than me. 100%. I was a laid back mom. If I said my kids ate at 6, it meant they didn't eat at 5 to 6 and they didn't eat at 5 past 6. They were eating at 6 o'clock. And if we were going for dinner at 6:30, I would feed my children at 6 o'clock and then take them for dinner. No, and we used to travel. When we travel overseas, Losh's kids' bedtime was 7, non-negotiable. So here we are, any part of the world, and Losh's 3 would be fast asleep. But having said that, COVID hit. So my kids had 0 screen time. So, Resh's kids as well. Yeah. From the time they were in grade R, there was no TV, no iPads, no screens from Monday to Friday. Yeah. So Friday afternoon they'd get it. If you bored, you play outside on the jungle gym, and we were quite strict on that. We OT, so we outside play is where it's at. So when they reached grade 7 and COVID hit, everything was digital and everything was online, and our kids weren't used to being online that much. And I feel looking back, I needed more flexibility. So as much as routine and structure appeared to work for me at the time. She used to look down on me a little bit. I used to look down on her. Because I was more laid back. You eat when you're hungry. You know what? If you have to have a late night, we have a late night out. It's okay. Stay awake. Yeah, and I wasn't about that. But now looking back, everybody had a second child to learn to be laid back with. So I see people with that second child and they cool and calm and collected and laid back. And I never had that opportunity because I had three at once. So my advice is that you need to be more laid back. They're going to grow up anyway. I think that the stress that you put on yourself to be perfect is actually a waste of time and energy. Yeah.
I feel like you're speaking directly to me and to my life because I am Losh. I am very type A.
Yes.
Wow. And you, Resh, any advice?
I think the advice I'll give is always have open communication. Like my kids are my best friends. Yeah. Mia is laughing because the other day there was a TikTok and it said something about your mom being your best friend. And she really is, but she can tell me everything and I appreciate that. So just keep channels of communication open. Sometimes when the kids are younger and you want to discipline, you don't want to sway because you don't want to give them the wrong advice, if you hear what I'm saying. But just let them say what they want to say. You can always then tailor that to what you want to teach them in that situation. But don't use every situation as an opportunity to teach, especially when they share it. Feelings are something
Wow.
they're entitled to have. So if they say somebody bullied me and I'm feeling like I hate him, and I used to say, you don't use the word hate at home. Hate is a strong word. But they are allowed to feel that emotion. Then you have to say, but how can we make you feel better? Why do you think he did that? Just navigate the situation without downsizing the way they feel it. Yeah.
There's something that you said
All
that
emotions are okay, not all behaviors are okay.
Yeah.
there's something that you said that my sister actually told me. So when I was pregnant, we asked, like, we are like the eldest in our families from the cousins. So we asked the younger ones, what are things that you would like us to know as parents? And my sister actually said what Resh said now. She said not every moment is a teachable moment. Sometimes we just need to talk and to vent. And I really like that you said that too.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. Is there anything that you would like to share for people to keep an eye out for? Any projects that you guys have coming up, or anything that you want people to
Okay.
mark their
So we've
calendars
been
for?
getting so many messages about what lipstick color is this, who did your makeup.
Yeah.
So we both professional makeup artists. I own Made You Look SA. We've done our makeup every scene on the show. We did our own makeup.
Wow.
And we've done our makeup at 4:00 in the morning because
Wow.
we had to go to work. We were those moms that had a full-time job. So production usually had to wait until after 3 to shoot with us. So
Okay.
that makeup was done at 4 a.m. and we shot at 3.
Wow.
And it's looking pretty good on screen.
Yeah,
So we do always have master classes. We have it in Joburg and Durban. So look out for that. We haven't had the time to do any recently, but it will be something we'll have to get back to.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And the other thing that we are getting a lot of questions about is that we sew our own clothes. We have a fashion label called Made You Look, the label, and a lot of the clothes that we wear on the show is actually our own design.
I didn't know that
So
was your label. Wow.
Yeah. So we are getting so many inquiries, and so far we've only managed to sew for ourselves and our girls. You must know, like, if Losh is sewing these 4 outfits in our house,
Yeah.
and Mia and I, so we usually do our own, but we have done some work for other people, and we are looking into starting a line for the public.
That's
So
exciting.
Just watch out for that.
That is exciting. Thank you guys so much once again for taking time out of your busy day. I really appreciated it. Thank you so much. I really
you
had a
so
good
much for
time.
Thank you
That's
so
amazing.
much. It was lovely.